Okay guys, you're welcome back. There is Sammy from jvsco.net. So in our last section, we have created the entity class for this project for our customer. So today we are going to start creating the controller class. So let's go. So right here, I'm going to right click here to create a new package. So new and a new package, and I'm going to call this package controllers. 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 All right. So hit enter, and I'm going to right click this package and create a new Java class, and I'm going to call this class customer what? Customer controller, right? So this one is the customer controller class. So this is the class that is going to take care of every request that is sent to the customer. So this class is going to contain all the API that we use to manipulate customer information, adding new customer, deleting customer, updating, and so on and so forth. Everything about customer. So because we are creating a REST API, so we are going to annotate this class using at REST controller. This is it. And for every request that is coming to this controller, there is a particular format we want it to be. So we are going to have at request mapping here, and we are going to define the pattern, how we want the request, how we want the pattern to look like. So we are going to have /API/ customers. So every request that is coming here is going to be in this format. So our application /API/customers to do anything here. So now we are going to create a method to get the list of all customers from the database. So we are going to do here, we're going to do public. So because we are returning HTTP status code, so we are going to use the response entity class. Response entity. And the response entity is a generic class. So we are going to do this. So what are we going to return? We are going to return the list of customers. So we are going to have list here. And this list is coming from the java.util library. And here we are going to have customers. So what are we returning? We are returning the list of customers. So let's do list of customers. So this list here is coming from the java.util. It's coming from the java.util package. So we are going to have this, and it's a list of customer. And the name of this method is going to be get all customers, get customers. And this one is not going to have any parameter. Customer, import class. Okay, yeah. So this one is not going to have any parameter. We're just going to return the list of customers from the database. So we are going to do list of customer, all customers, sorry, equal customer service dot get customers. Yeah, this is a method that we're going to create later. And so here we are going to return, we're going to do return new response. We're going to return new response entity. And what are we returning? We're returning all customers and the HTTP status code. Okay. So is it. So before we go further, we are going to create, to make things easy for us, we are going to create the customer service class. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to create new, I'm going to right click the main package, the default package, and I'm going to create, right click here and create new package. And this package is going to be service. Let's make it services. So this package is going to be services. So we have controllers, entities, and services. And we are going to right click this and create new Java class. And we are going to call this class customer service. Customer service. And we're going to hit enter. So right here we gotten this class created already. So we are going to call it from here. We're going to do private. So this customer service class is a dependency to this customer controller class. So therefore we are going to inject this customer service into this customer controller class. So we are going to do private final customer service here, customer service class, and we have customer service here. So we see that this error has gone away because we've created the class, but this one has not gone away because we have not created the method. So now we are going to create a constructor to inject this dependency. So quickly we are going to create create a constructor to inject this dependency, so we can inject this dependency into this class. So here I'm going to right click here and click on generate and click on constructor. So here we have just one field here, which is the dependency. So we're going to select this only one field and click OK. So here's it. So now we're having error here. He said could not auto wire, no bin of this found. Why? What is this? It's because we've created this class, but this class is not yet a bin. It's not yet a Spring Bean. So to make it a Spring Bean, we are going to use an annotation called the service, because this is a service class. And I am going to specify, I like specifying the name explicitly for some reasons. So I'm going to just make this as customer service. That is the name. So the reason why I like specifying names for beans is because, though by default the name of this beans is going to be the name of this class in camel casing. But for example, if this class is renamed, it's going to affect our application. Our application is going to be broken. So, but if we give it a name here, even though this class is renamed to any other thing, the application is still going to maintain this name as the name of the beans. So that is why I like specifying names for beans. So now let's go back to our class. So now we see that the error is gone. And there's one annotation we're supposed to have used here called auto wired. Now this annotation is optional right now. It's not necessary right now because we have just one dependency in the controller, in the constructor, sorry. But in a situation where we have more than one dependency to inject into this class, then this annotation becomes compulsory. But right now it's not compulsory. We can remove it. We can either remove it or leave it. It will still work because we have one. But I'm going to leave it for clarity purposes, so that anyone that looks at this will just know what is going on in here. So that's why I'm going to leave it here. And so now we have gotten a method to get the list of customers. But here we are going to specify the HTTP verb for this method. So this one is going to be get mapping, because we are getting the list of customers from the database. So which means if we navigate to this /API/customers and click hit the enter button, we are going to get the list of customers from the database. So now we are going to do another method to get a single customer from the database. So this method is going to get a single customer from database. So we are going to do at get mapping here. So this time, this one is going to take a parameter. It's going to take a parameter here. So this one is going to take the customer's ID here. So we're going to do public response, because we are returning HTTP response entity. So this time, instead of list of customer, we're going to just have one customer, a single customer. And this name of the name of this method is going to be customer instead of customers, because we're returning just one. And here, because we need the ID of the customer we're returning, we are going to do a path variable. We're going to make use of this annotation called a path variable. So the path variable is going to take the ID of the user. So it's going to take the ID of the customer, the ID of the customer. And remember, the type of the customer is long. So we have long, the ID. So let me close this a little bit so it's a little wider. So here we have this, and quickly we are going to have the customer equals customer service dot get customer. So we're going to get one customer dot get customer, and we're going to pass in the ID of the customers. So here we have get customers, which is the list of customers. Here we have get customer, which is one customer, and we are going to do return new response entity. So we're returning the customer. HTTP status okay. If everything goes well, we are going to have this status okay here. So now we have gotten a method for listing the customers and one to get a single customer. So now we are going to have a method to add new customer. So this time around, this one is going to be at post mapping. So at post mapping, and we're going to do public response entity, the customer, right? We're going to call this add customer. And because we are adding a customer, we are going to request the information to be added to the database. So we're going to do at request body. So regarding at request body here, which is the customer, the information passed in about the customer. So customer. So we have this here, and we are going to do customer equals customer service dot add customer, and we're passing the customer objects to be added customer. So this customer is going to be saved to the database, and after that we're going to return new response entity containing the customer that is just. Then after that we are going to return new entity response entity containing the customer that we just created. So we are going to get the customer and the HTTP status okay here. So this we're going to this is just all this all we need here. And next we are going to have method to update. Now, if you look here, I didn't specify anything here, because definitely if we have a get request of /API/customers, it's going to come here. If we have a get request of /customer/ID, it's going to come here. If we have a post request of /customer post, it's going to come here. So that is how it works. So next we are going to have a method to update a new customer. So basically the method is going to be pretty the same like this. It's going to look alike, just pretty the same as this method here. But the only thing we're going to change is this verb. Instead of post, we're going to have put. So we're going to have put. And instead of this, we're going to name this as update. So we don't get confused. So we're going to have at update customer. Update customer. So it's going to make use of the same method to update the customer. So the only difference is that the customer we are updating already gotten an ID. So when JPA sees that this customer has gotten an ID already, so it's going to update the customer. But if the customer has no ID, it's going to create a new customer and assign a new ID to the customer. So that is basically what we need. So now we have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4. So the last method is a method to delete, to complete the Crud operation. So here we're going to have at delete mapping, and here we are going to get what are we deleting? What customer are we deleting? We're going to get the ID of the customer to be deleted. So we pass, just like getting one customer. So we pass the ID of the customer to be deleted here. And we're going to do public. This time around, we're going to have void. We're not going to return anything. Void delete who? Delete customer. Delete customer here. And we're going to pass the path variable. At path variable is the customer ID to be deleted. Here we're going to have the ID, and the type of this ID is long. Just the ID is long, and we're just going to call this customer service dot delete. That's all. Customer service dot delete. Delete who? Delete the customer. Yes, let's make it clear. Delete customer. So that's it. Okay, just a quick check. Let's check. So here we have delete method to delete a customer, and here we got the update method, and here we got the post method, and here we got a method to find one customer, and here we got a method to find the list of customers. So here we are going to, oh, there's a mistake here. We're going to have, we're passing the ID of the customer to be deleted. So that's it. Okay guys, just stay back and watch, and in the next video we are going to work on the service class. So don't forget to subscribe if you've not done that, and stay tuned for the next video. Let's finish the work together. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.